Social distancing has to be the most frustrating Dark Ops challenge in the game. You have to reach round 20 in zombies without taking damage. If it's not obvious enough, the map you should be doing this challenge on is Liberty Falls for one very specific reason. There are no parasites, so you don't have to worry about dodging projectiles. Well, from that specific enemy type, but we'll get into that in a little bit. By far, the best gun to use is the ASG shotgun. It's extremely powerful, has no chance of causing explosive damage to damage yourself, which the GS-45's the strongest gun in zombies will. And while you upgrade it, it's going to one-shot zombies as long as you're staying on top of your upgrades until round 20, and it's good at killing manglers and abominations. When it comes to specific zombie types, there are a few strategies you will need to use in order to get through rounds without taking damage. First are vermin-specific rounds. In the bowling alley, you can see the vermin walk towards you from every direction. So there's going to be no worry about turning a corner and having a bunch of vermin there to sneak up and damage you. Now this is for vermin-only rounds, which is where the vermin have the highest risk of damaging you since there's more of them at once. When it comes to normal zombies, there's a very simple strategy. Avoid them at all costs. It should go without saying, but there are people who won't even take this into consideration. On your minimap, you can see where zombies are in all directions, even if you're not looking a specific way. So paying attention to your minimap and seeing where zombies are coming from is huge. Once you open up the map, you're set up with your pack-a-punch weapons. The strategy you're going to want to use is the zip lines on the bank roof to spawn. When zombies seem like they're getting too overwhelming, just take the zip line. You won't take damage, they're not going to throw meat at you, and you get a breath of fresh air to reload and reset. Whenever you feel like you're getting close to having to reload, or you feel like you're getting overrun soon, just hit the zip line. Past round 11, you're going to have manglers start to spawn in. If you start each round on the roof of the bank where Wonder Fizz is, the manglers will always spawn inside the roof barrier, meaning you can kill them before they exit the barrier and can use their cannon attack to damage you with the projectile. You do have to be fast though, because normal zombies are spawning in from multiple directions. Worst case scenario, if you have to spend a round hitting the zipline multiple times so the mangler doesn't kill you, and the mangler's the last enemy type before the round ends, then you can focus on the mangler avoiding his cannon attacks and killing him as fast as possible. The rule of thumb should always be killing manglers and vermin as soon as possible. Now, I get everything might not go according to plan and you might need to play it extra safe. That might mean running to last resorts and running around the entire map, slowly progressing through rounds so zombies aren't getting close enough to hit you. If that also isn't obvious enough, a zombie should never get close enough to you to have a chance of damaging you. That covers the main 3 enemy types that you're going to experience on most rounds. However, we do have the abominations to deal with. At the beginning of round 15-16, an abomination is going to spawn in the game. If you're on the bank roof, which is where you should be starting every round regardless, they are going to spawn behind the barriers where the manglers spawn. When the abomination spawns, it's going to be temporarily vulnerable before it starts attacking you. This means you can get a decent amount of damage and destroy one of its 3 mouths, if not even 2 of them if you're fast enough, before it even starts trying to attack you. Now there's really one strategy with the abominations. Zipline across back and forth. When you're on the roof of the gas station at spawn, the abominations are either going to spawn on the higher ledge or below you on the ground. If they spawn on the higher ledge, it's better safe than sorry to zipline all the way across to the bank roof before it can use its ranged laser attack. If it spawns on the ground, just stay away from the edges of the roof. And if you're ever in doubt, always use the zipline. Then you just have to do all of that without getting hit at all, taking 0 damage, and reaching round 20. But I'm not that sane, so I tried to do 2 challenges at the same time, the second one being good enough. You also have to reach round 20, but you cannot buy perks, use augments, use ammo mods, or field upgrades. This can be done on any map. You don't have to do it at the same time as you're doing social distancing. So if you don't want to do it on Liberty Falls, you don't have to. But there are a few things you should know. When it says no augments, that means you can't have any augments equipped. You can spend your entire 20 rounds not using any perks, ammo mods, or field upgrades, but even if you have augments equipped to perks that you're not using, it still won't count. So, in the menus, deselect all augments you have equipped to anything. Other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory. However, you are allowed to pack-a-punch your weapons and use salvage to upgrade them by rarity. Do not use your salvage to buy alternate ammo types. And I don't even risk using tacticals or lethals, because that's still a gray area where sometimes it bugs out the entire challenge. There we go. Just me, myself, the ASG in a dream. Wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. We're going to Citadel de Mor for the next Dark Ops challenge, which is Sticks and Stones, where you have to reach round 25 while only using a melee weapon, melee macchiato, and combat axes to kill. You are allowed to purchase other perks, you're just not allowed to kill zombies with guns, traps, equipment, or anything, even like buying perks from Melee Macchiato and Vultrade where they have perk machine animations that can kill zombies. Long story short, zombies can only die from your blade, nothing else. And that's why we're on Citadel, because we have the swords. With the first stamp that we get on round 10, we're going to grab the Lion Sword and upgrade it by killing the 4 parasites, placing the symbols on the door, and going inside. Now, this is the only time we are going to use our gun. When you place the Lion Sword, you have to shoot the symbols in the correct order as displayed on the pedestal. You can shoot these symbols, and that's the only time we're going to fire our gun. Other than that, we're never going to use it, just for this upgrade step to get the upgraded Lion Sword. We will be using our combat axe. It is our best friend on early rounds when trying to keep distance from zombies and taking stupid deaths. But when we have our sword, we're going to want to buy Melee Macchiato, and the only augment that you need to make sure you have on this perk is Espresso. It's going to allow you to swing faster and kill more zombies, well, faster. The best strategy is to sit in the fireplace in the room where you collect the swords. All zombies do a jump animation to enter the fireplace, which means they're not going to attack you until they enter. And because you have an upgraded Lion Sword, all zombies are going to be a one-hit kill, paired with the Espresso augment on Melee Macchiato. You're going to kill pretty fast, and each swing of the sword can kill 2 zombies at the same time. When doppelgasts come and attack me, I let them enter the fireplace because I know they are going to die so fast, I'm not at risk of going down. When amalgams spawn, that's a little bit of a different scenario. Technically, you could stay in the fireplace, you would take a lot of damage before the amalgam dies, but you wouldn't necessarily go down. Just to be safe, I leave the fireplace, kill the amalgam, and go back in until I reach round 25. It doesn't have to be during the exact same time that you're doing the Sticks and Stones challenge. To complete the Invincible Dark Ops, you have to survive 30 rounds without going down. For those experienced zombie players, this isn't challenging. But for those who need help, there are a couple things that you can use to increase your chances of not going down. Juggernaut, with augments to increase your base overall health. Quick Revive and the Dying Wish augment, where instead of going down, which is the whole thing we're trying not to do, you're going to go into Dying Wish, which means you're not going to die, you're just going to lose the Quick Revive perk and will have to buy it back. Field upgrades like Aether Shroud will hide you from zombies if you ever get close to dying, or if you're using Healing Aura, will heal you to full health if you're in a sticky situation when you're close to death. If you play solo all the time, it might be a good idea to play with a couple of friends. Now, the hardest challenge might be finding friends to play with in the first place, but when you're playing with others, you have more friends to help you out and keep you alive. Now, you're going to take all the things you've learned up to now and complete one of the most tedious Dark Ops challenges in Black Ops 6, another round. Successfully complete 100 rounds in one zombies match. We're going to use the Citadel de Mor high round strategy. I've covered it myself in a few previous videos for camo grinding, but we're going to use the oil trap strategy on the low rounds. Sorry to sound like a broken record, but here's how it works. When you activate the oil trap, if you have a Molotov cocktail and you throw it down, the oil trap will light on fire. This will insta-kill all zombies that enter it as long as you have Deadshot Daiquiri. This is something that we've been using for camo grinding because every kill you get from the oil trap counts as camo progression towards your critical kills, which is everyone's favorite challenge. You're going to do this at the low rounds because 1, it's fast, easy to do, and generates lots of salvage, which we'll need later on. You should have the Vultrade perk at all times because more salvage is going to spawn, and if you have the Picky Eater augment, your Molotovs and whatever your tactical device is will regenerate really fast, so when the oil trap's done and you go pick up all the salvage, you'll replenish your lethals and tacticals. Once you've accumulated about 15,000 to 20,000 salvage, you're ready to go to the fastest way to get through the rounds, which is the Mangler strategy in the basement of the bar where you upgrade the Void Sword, which is another thing that you might want for this strategy. Alongside the upgraded Void Sword, you'll want Casimir devices as your tactical and the Mutant Injection. This is how the high round strategy works. At the beginning of the round, using your upgraded Void Sword, just to the right of the salvage upgrade table, there's a barrier. Use your sword, get a couple of kills until zombies start spawning in at a very fast rate. You don't have a lot of time to do this, but a few kills around will charge up that special ability for the sword. The next two things you're going to do, you can do in any order at any time. You can throw a Casimir device on the ground, and if you have the Vultrade with the Picky Eater augment, when you're killing a lot of zombies, you will replenish lots of Casimirs. Also, you can use your Mutant Injection and kill most of the zombies in a round before it runs out. In a perfect scenario, which is about until round 90, you're going to be able to throw 1 or 2 Casimirs and use one of your Mutant Injections, and that's going to get you through an entire round. On the higher rounds, you might have to use multiple Mutant Injections, multiple Casimirs, and the charged ability from your sword, which is basically another Casimir. This is what you're going to do to get through the rounds. On the odd vermin and parasite rounds you have, you can either kill all of them using the sword, or what I like to do is use the GS45 because that's the weapon I spawn in with. It's also a wall buy in the spawn room, and it's explosive when you pack-a-punch it and can kill vermins and parasites extremely easily. Even though you can do it, your use of a Mutant Injection on a vermin and parasite round is a huge waste. With your GS45 alone, you can get through the rounds pretty fast. This is the fastest, easiest, and safest way to get to round 100 in Black Ops 6 right now. So if you're a new player who hasn't really gone for high rounds before but wants a Dark Ops challenge, this is the strategy and map you're going to want to play. We're going to play on Terminus for the next few Dark Ops challenges, the first one being Yo Ho Ho. You have to get 20,000 essence without getting hit with the Cursed Relic. Step 1 is to get the Cursed Relic. Follow the walkthrough guide to open up Pack-a-Punch at the beginning of every game. That's step 1. Step 2 is going to be to buy the Melee Macchiato perk and come to the cave with Speed Cola in it. There's going to be a semi-broken wall and you're going to melee it, revealing a pirate skeleton and a treasure chest. You'll notice he has a map, and on that map there's going to be multiple X's throughout this quest where you have to go to these specific islands to either find or collect something. The first small island you'll go to, you have to swim to the bottom of the ocean. You'll find a watch, collect it, and bring it back to the pirate captain. Once you place the watch down, you'll get some dialogue about his crewmates. Then there are going to be 3 islands where X marks the spot. You are either going to want a thermobaric grenade or a Molotov grenade, which is much easier. You are going to have to burn each skeleton. On each of these 3 islands, these skeleton spawns are the same each time. When you burn each skeleton, a coin is going to spawn. When you pick up this coin, you are not going to regen health until you place it or drop it. When you pick up this coin, take it back to the captain and place it. Rinse and repeat 3 times until all 3 of the X marks the spot maps on the map are no longer there. Once you've placed all 3 coins, then go to Crab Island. The next step is to stay on this island for 3 consecutive rounds without leaving. At the end of the 3 rounds, a treasure chest will open with the cursed amulet inside of it. When you collect this amulet, you'll see it in your personal items, and you'll have 2 things affect you. The first is you are going to have a permanent double points, which is where you're going to earn that 20,000 essence. The other one is a negative effect. Every time you take damage, you are going to lose 10% of however many essence you have. You're going to notice that this Dark Ops challenge is a way easier version of social distancing. This time around, it's just 20,000 essence. And as an extra tip, which makes this even easier, is if a natural double point spawns, you effectively will have quadruple points. Since we're already on the map Terminus, we can complete the Dark Ops Challenge Terminal, which is completing the map's Easter egg after round 50. For this Easter egg, you will need the map's wonder weapon, the Beam Smasher. If you don't have the Wonder Bar Gobblegum where you can guarantee a wonder weapon from the box, you'll have to complete a small quest in order to craft it. Once the Pack-a-Punch is activated, there are 3 laptops around the map that you have to turn on. The first one is outside of Stamina Up, there's another one outside of Quick Revive, and up the stairs from the dock. Now, once Pack-a-Punch is active, we need to get Deadwire on one of our weapons. We're going to ride the Pack-a-Punch lift up and shoot these electric panels. Once you shoot an electric panel, you'll see an electrical charge move through the wire to the next panel. Once you've shot all the panels, you'll open up the research office. You'll then need to go to the C tower where Elemental Pop is located and collect the multi-phasic resonator. Back at the research office, you'll place it into the computer. You'll also notice that there's a whiteboard with an algebraic equation you'll have to solve. The 3 laptops that you turn on have the key to solve the algebraic equation. If you don't want to have to break out the pen and paper to do some math, you can just go to Peck and bribe him to give you the code. Input the code into the computer, and now you can pick up the multi-phasic resonator. Hop on a boat and head to Castle Rock Island. If you have the multi-phasic resonator in your inventory, you'll notice a blue glowing orb. Zombies are going to spawn, and eventually some zombies will spawn with elemental effects. When you kill them, they'll drop sparks that you have to quickly take to the orb. Repeat this until you've done it 3 times and the orb has disappeared. You'll repeat this following step 2 more times on the following islands with new elements. Crab Island will be a green toxic element, and Temple Island will be a dark aether element. Once all 3 have been completed, you can get the AMP munition and can craft the Beam Smasher. Remember, if you did have a Wonder Bar Gobblegum, you could skip that entire quest and just start right where we are here with the Easter egg steps. With the Beam Smasher, you're going to have to locate the tentacle trap with the red keycard underneath. When activating this tentacle trap, you're going to shoot it with the Beam Smasher until it drops the hard drive. Just take that hard drive to Peck, and now you'll have to collect a 3-digit code. In order, you'll have to go to 3 locations to collect their respective number. In Quick Revive, behind this gated fence, there's going to be a clock. Wherever the hour hand is, that's your first number. In the mess hall, there's going to be a playing card. Whatever number's on the playing card, that is code number 2. And finally, in engineering, there's a sign with the number of how many days since the last injury. That is your 3rd number. Then input the code into the chamber containing Nathan in the laboratory and activate the valve to start the mini boss fight. You'll have to kill Nathan, and once the boss fight's over, a golden keycard will be at the bottom in the water. Take that golden keycard to the sunken ship and enter the secret room by climbing the ladder. There's going to be a lockdown event where you have to kill zombies and survive. At the end of this lockdown event, you will be able to pick up 2 connectors that you and your team have to repair the network to the island. There are 3 locations and 2 connectors. The first is on Crab Island across from the crafting table. Next is underneath the C tower, and last is the tunnels to Speed Cola. There's only going to be 2 connectors that you have to fix out of the 3. Once the connectors are fixed, return to Peck and retrieve the hacking drive. Then you're going to hop on another boat. There is going to be 3 buoys in the water with radar dishes. You are going to have to drive to these radar dishes and hack them within a 2-minute timer. Once you've successfully hacked all 3 buoys, a 5-minute timer is going to start, and you have to go back to the laboratories underground. There are 3 bombs that you have to defuse in 5 minutes before the island is destroyed. Once all 3 bombs have been defused, you can now access the boss fight. But that's just the Easter egg steps. You have to survive until round 51 before entering. The Dark Ops challenge is completing the Easter egg after round 50. So if you go into the boss fight on round 50, complete the boss fight, and wonder why you're not getting the calling card, it's because you have to do it on any round after 50, so 51 and so on. The best strategy is to use the Sigma and the GS45s and find any spot around the map where you or yourself and a friend can hold off. Make sure you're using the Vulture Aid perk, because once you get enough salvage, you'll be able to buy mutant injections, and chopper gunners to get through the rounds a little bit faster. Once you finally reach round 51, you can start the boss fight. The one weapon that you should always have while fighting Patient 13 is the Sigma launcher, fully upgraded, which you will get tons of salvage and tons of points, so you should be going into the boss fight max upgraded on round 51 anyway. The Sigma does the most damage to Patient 13's weak points. Fight through the 3 phases of the boss fight until you kill Patient 13, and that is the Easter egg complete post round 50. For myself, I got no notification of completing the Dark Ops challenge, but when we did finish the game, I did have the calling card unlocked. While going through high rounds to get to the boss fight on round 50, I completed another Dark Ops challenge called Harbinger of Doom, which is getting 100 kills with a single use of a score streak. It is easiest to do this with a mutant injection on high rounds. While in the mutant injection, all the zombies go to you, you're invulnerable, and because it's a high round, zombies spawn fast and move faster. So getting 100 kills is pretty straightforward. You can even see and keep track of how many kills you get per mutant injection by seeing the score pop up on screen and how many mutant injection kills you get. The other kill streak that you will be able to do this with is the chopper gunner. However, Terminus is definitely not the map that you want to try and get 100 chopper gunner kills with. You'll have to go to Liberty Falls to do that. The last Dark Ops that we'll do on Terminus is Fatale, which is killing 2 amalgams with 1 shot. On Terminus, you're going to have amalgams spawn on round 16 and 19. You are going to save both and not kill them. In the meantime, you're going to have to train the amalgams without killing them and kill all the zombies in the game, progressing through rounds until you get 19. Once that second amalgam spawns, you're going to keep both alive until the end of the round. Save a zombie and weaken the amalgams to low health, but do not kill them. You're also going to have the Sigma because that's what's going to kill both of them with 1 shot. You don't need a sniper and a fancy collateral. You can do this with your launchers. You are going to want each amalgam to have a sliver of health. I use the idolized gobblegum once the amalgams are together to freeze all zombies in the game. I also brought with me the insta-kill gobblegum, which is going to allow my launcher to do more damage. I'm also going to make sure that I'm spending all of my points and salvage to upgrade my launcher to ensure that it's going to do the most damage as possible. Once you pop the insta-kill and the amalgams are together, you just need to fire 1 rocket at the amalgam's feet. Because they only have a sliver of health, they should both die. And you'll get the Dark Ops calling card. Now we're going to head over to Liberty Falls and start the Easter egg for the next few Dark Ops challenges. As a quick run through, you'll have to open up Pack-a-Punch and interact with the Aether device inside of the church. You'll collect the water tap from beside Speed Cola, take it to the bowling alley and replace the water valve. Complete this while fighting zombies off until you're able to collect the water pressure valve. And then in the graveyard, you'll have to wait until the groundskeeper spawns, kill him and pick up his key to open up his shed and grab the handbrake. And on round 11, use the mangler to open up the electronics store, and in the piles of trash, collect the electrical wire. You'll then be able to craft the jet gun, and you're going to use the jet gun to collect LTG parts from the comic book store, the apartment above Speed Cola, and the balcony in the church. Then on the bank roof, you can craft the LTG. You're going to activate the first portal defense until you complete it and the HVT spawns. You're going to kill this HVT, and this is where we're going to stop Easter egg progression. We're going to work on the Kunoichi Dark Ops challenge, which is killing an elite zombie, 2 special zombies, and 3 regular zombies in a single use of Aether Shroud while using the Aether Blade Augment. On a normal round, you're going to wait for 2 manglers to spawn in, and you're going to kill most of the zombies until you have around 10 left. Then you're going to group the manglers together and weaken them, but do not kill them. Then you're going to spawn in another HVT from the LTG step. You're going to weaken the HVT to low health as well. When all the zombies, the manglers, and the HVT are all grouped up together with an upgraded melee weapon, you're going to activate your Aether Shroud and kill 3 zombies, your 2 manglers, and the HVT before it runs out. With the same theme of using the LTG step, we're going to work on the Light 'em Up Dark Ops challenge, which is with the Napalm Burst Elite Augment, kill 10 elite zombies that have been ignited and are ignited in a single match 10 times. This is easiest done in the directed mode, and it has to all be done in a single match. You're going to want your main weapon. For me, that was the GS45s, as upgraded as you can be on the round 15 round cap. You're also going to want a weak wall weapon that is not upgraded at all, but you are going to equip Napalm Burst to it. When you spawn in your HVT, which also counts as an elite zombie, weaken it until it has about a third or 1/4 left of health. Then, all you're going to do is group some zombies around that high value target, which is your elite zombie, and you're going to shoot the zombies in the leg with that weak wall weapon until the Napalm Burst effect goes off. Once that Napalm Burst effect goes off, with these two augments, the fire is going to spread to that HVT, and when that HVT is on fire, you are going to be able to kill him with your GS45s. As long as you are killing that elite zombie while it's on fire, that is going to count as progression. And the good thing about the LTG step is every time you repeat a round, as long as you're not actually doing the Easter egg step and you're killing the elite every round, you can spawn one each round, which means it's only going to take 10 rounds if you're not making any mistakes to get this Dark Ops challenge completed. It's tedious, it takes about half an hour, but it's way easier and a lot faster than trying to do this just by going through normal high rounds. The next two Dark Ops require you to have a lot of Gobblegums. Specifically, you will need a Perkaholic. But let's start off with Gummed Up, which is consuming 25 Gobblegums in a single match. As long as you have 25 Gobblegums worth of Gobblegums in your pack, all you have to do is use as many Gobblegums as you can. At the beginning of each round, go to the Mr. Peaks machine and get a new Gobblegum and use it as fast as possible. If you don't forget, like I did, you should have this done by round 25 to round 30. All you have to do is have those 25 Gobblegums activate. The most painful Dark Ops is, well, that was a waste. You have to get downed 10 seconds after consuming a Perkaholic Gobblegum. I did this just by spawning in with the Perkaholic ready to use right away in my Gobblegum pack, grouped up all the zombies on round 1, activated my Perkaholic, and let the swarm of zombies kill me within 10 seconds. You can also kill yourself with explosives if you cook a nade. PhD Flobber might stop that, didn't try it. I just grouped up a bunch of zombies together as close as possible, used my Perkaholic, let them kill me, and that was the Dark Ops. This is the coolest Dark Ops in the game, and that's Strike, and you have to get a perfect 300 points while bowling. You can get more than 300, but you have to get a minimum of 300. Around Liberty Falls, there are going to be 5 locations with bowling shoes. You have to shoot all 5 of these, and you'll be teleported into the bowling alley with an Easter egg where you can now bowl. Zombies will be walking across the lanes, and you will be given a bowling ball. Each zombie you hit is worth 10 points. This sucks to do solo, and the more players in your match, the more zombies walking across. So if you can get some friends in a game and agree to switch off on who's bowling to get the Dark Ops calling card, that's going to be best. All you have to do now is when you're in the bowling Easter egg is bowl until you hit 300 points. Let's finish off the Easter egg steps because we need to complete the Easter egg in 30 minutes on Liberty Falls to get the Liberated calling card. Of course, you're not going to do any other Dark Ops while doing this, but to complete the Easter egg steps, you'll have to collect the canister from the ether device and take it to a DAFG trap. Once you place the canister on the trap, you'll have to spawn in that HVT that we were exploiting earlier, and we'll have to weaken it and kill it using the trap. When you kill it using the trap, its soul is going to go into the canister. You're going to collect that canister and walk it back to that aether device inside the church. You'll have to repeat this step one more time, but first you'll have to collect the Strauss counter. There is going to be 3 projectors around the map. The first is just outside the bowling alley on the hill beside PhD. The Strauss counter will show one of 3 colors on screen: blue, yellow, or red. If it shows green, set the projector to red. If it shows yellow, the projector sets to yellow, and if it's red, the projector is set to green. You'll repeat this at the 2 other projectors, one on the roof of Yummy Freeze, and the third is by the shed where you picked up the handbrake at the beginning of the Easter egg. Then, in spawn, you'll release another canister that you can pick up and place on the spawn's DAFG traps. Then you'll pick up the LTG and take it all the way down to buy the electronics store. You'll do one more portal defense that will spawn your final HVT. Once again, you'll weaken this, activate that trap, collect the soul, and bring it back to that aether device inside the church. Now, you can start the boss fight. Inside the boss fight, there's going to be 3 different phases. Phase 1 is zombies and a couple manglers. Phase 2 is sprinting zombies, a few manglers, and that high value mangler from before. Then, once you're done that phase, the final phase will be manglers, sprinting zombies, and that high value target abomination. Once you've killed all the enemies, the boss fight will be complete. But to get that liberated calling card, you have to do the entire Easter egg from start to finish, including the boss fight, in under 30 minutes. These final Dark Ops challenges we're going through can really be completed at any time, like Armed to the Teeth, which is max upgrading 3 weapons. Your first 2 weapons will be whatever you spawn in with and whatever second gun you buy. Don't forget that 3rd weapon is your melee slot. All you have to do is pack-a-punch all 3 weapons to tier 3 and make sure salvage upgrades are to legendary. If you have a wonder weapon, that wonder weapon just needs to go to pack tier 3. Once you've done this, you will have all 3 weapons upgraded. I did this very early on in my zombies gameplay on Black Ops 6, but if you still don't have it and want to do some other Dark Ops at the same time, either your round 100 run or during your terminal doing terminus Easter egg after round 50, you will get enough points and salvage to max upgrade your 3 weapons. Also, you'll have to do box Addict, which is collecting every single weapon from the box. And this is a Dark Ops challenge that is going to get harder and harder as the game goes on, because more DLC weapons will be added to the game, which means you'll have to get more guns from the box. Now, when you're hitting the mystery box, you have to get every single gun out of it. That includes all primaries, all secondaries, all melees, and even the score streaks that are in the box, like the RCXD, the Hellstorm, the Mutant Injection, and the Chopper Gun. And don't forget about wonder weapons as well. You'll also have to get whatever you spawned in with, melee and starting weapon-wise, from the box as well, so you'll eventually have to switch them out. This is extremely tedious, and just by hitting the mystery box alone took me over an hour to do. It's easiest to do on a round 100 run, since you'll have so many points accumulated that you can just spin the mystery box without having to worry about going through rounds anymore. Also, what I did is on a piece of paper, I wrote down every single mystery box weapon available in the game, and as I got them from the box, I crossed them out. There's going to be a pinned comment down below with all weapons currently in the mystery box that you need to collect. As DLC comes out in the future, that list will get updated with more guns, and this challenge will be a little bit more tedious in the future. And the last 2 can be completed at any rate. The first is Dark Journey, and that's unlocking the Nebula Mastery Camo on 33 weapons. I will have in the description my full Nebula Camo guide if you're new to camo grinding, especially in zombies, and want some tips and tricks on how to get this Mastery Camo as fast as possible. And the last, but not least, quite literally not least, is Reaper of the Undead. In your zombies career, in your stats, you have to get over 1 million zombie kills to get this calling card. Killing 1 million zombies takes a long time. It's something that it might take months to get, but that is the final and last Dark Ops challenge in Black Ops 6 Zombies. But there also is a secret reward when you complete all the Dark Ops challenges. You'll get the Dark Ops Mastery calling card for zombies, showing that you've mastered all of the Dark Ops challenges in game. Best of luck on your Dark Ops grind. If there's any questions or concerns, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to help out where I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.